Hello and welcome back to the DT Bishop's YouTube channel. Today we're using OnShape with our Year 7s, looking at creating the idea of a new collectible toy. Now before I get started with OnShape, I just wanted to show you some stuff on our YouTube channel. On one of the playlists we've got on there from DT Futures, so a shout out to them to like and subscribe. If you're new to OnShape, check out some of their videos. So once OnShape's loaded up, you're going to go up to the top left and click on create, and I'm going to create a folder this time because I'm going to make a couple of parts to go into it. So we're going to click on folder, I'm going to give it a name as Lostbots, press create, and then in the menu there you'll see the folder which I can click on, press create again, and I'm going to call this bodies. I'm going to make the body of the robot first, so we click OK. Now depending on your browser speed and things, it will take a few moments to load up, so it's doing that now. So on OnShape we've got our drawings area in the middle of the screen, so you'll see there's some planes there called front, right and top, and as you move over to the highlight we've got our controls. So that little square in the top right hand corner, we can click on it and move it around. So we can click on a face, we can click on the arrows, or you can use your cursor keys on the keyboard to move things around. The little square below it allows us to move it into isometric. Okay, so that's a bit about navigation. So I'm just going to click on sketch, which is in the top left there, and you'll see that it's asking me for where I want to sketch. So I'm going to click onto the top, and top plane should now be written in that box we just had, and the word sketch appears. So clicking on the top surface there of that little cube, we'll spin it around so I'm looking directly down on top of it now. So my drawing tools are along the top there, so we're going to do a rectangle, we're going to do from the centre. So I've just click the little arrow, and we click on that, and I'm going to click once in the centre of my screen and use my mouse to draw out how big I want it, and click again to finish. Now the next task is to size that to the dimensions we want. So you click on the line once and drag it up, and then you can just double click on the number to change it. So again I click once, double click to drag up, and I've changed them both to 15. Now all I'm doing is using the scroll wheel there to zoom in and out. So I'm going to put it into isometric again, press the tick on the sketch, and we're going to click on the extrude, which is next to the sketch button. I need to click from my menu sketch 1, and you'll see straight away it pops up with 25 millimeters. Click on the number to change it, so we're going to do it 15, so we're making a cube that's 15 millimeters square, and I'm going to make it so it is symmetrical. So by clicking on the word blind and changing it to the second one for symmetrical, you'll now notice that that little yellow square is in the middle of our block. So we're in the centre now, and you can use the scroll wheel to zoom in. Okay, so we want to do another sketch now, so I've clicked the sketch, and this time I can sketch onto that model that I've made. So it says face of extrude 1, so I can spin it round and do the front. Scroll wheel will just allow me to zoom in. Exactly the same process as before. We're going to draw a square in the centre there. We'll go up and use the dimension tool, click on the line and drag it away, change the numbers so it's 12 in both times. So once they're both to 12, we'll click that isometric button to view it in isometric. It spins round, again scroll wheels will just zoom things in, and again we click on extrude, making sure we click sketch 2 so the two link together, and again it shoots out at 25 millimeters. I'm going to change it to 0.5, and you'll see it's just sticking out 0.5. If I go to remove, it's now gone into it, so it's making a little dent in 0.5 millimeter, and we've now got that shape for our screen tucked in there. So now we need to think about attaching parts to the body. So we'll start thinking about how we can attach arms, legs and holes for the heads to go on. So we're going to start by putting on the two shoulders for the body, where the arms are going to attach. So when I click sketch, I'm going to click the right plane. Now this plane is through the centre of my block there, and this is a little hack, a little cheat to make things run a bit more smoothly. Because I want two shoulders on each side, if I draw them from the centre outwards, I don't need to draw them twice. So I'm going to draw a circle, so I just click the circle tool, dimension it exactly the same way as we've done before, so it's going to be 6 millimeters. Go to isometric, zoom in just so you can see the circles in the center now. So it's not on a surface, it's in the center of the block. Press the tick, we go back to doing this idea of extrude, making sure we check that we've collected or selected the right sketch. At the moment I've not selected the sketch, so nothing's going to happen. So I'm thinking, oh, then I realise, so now I've done that 25, so it's 25 from the centre out. So I don't want it quite to stick out 25, so I will change that number there to 20. We'll just change and type that in. You saw it shortened down, and I've now created the 2 shoulders for my block, and you can see it's gone on both sides, or my lost spot I should say. So I'm now going to put a hole all the way through, because again it's the quickest way of doing this. So we go to sketch, I'm going to click the surface of that shoulder now. So that's done. I'll click the right surface, scroll wheel to zoom in, draw my circle in the centre there, and I'll resize it to 3 millimeters. So it drags it out, double click, resize to 3. Back to isometric so you can just see what's going on. I've scrolled wheeled in there to zoom, and again we'll make sure we select sketch 4. So we're doing remove, sketch 4. So that's put the whole thing through. We can see by the way that little arrow's on the opposite side. Now just to show you that we're on remove, if I flip it around, it will then show that that's the red part coming out. So we can now see there's a nice clear hole all the way through that. Now one thing I should have mentioned is it's a good idea to name your sketches as you go through. So if you go to the sketches and right click on them, you get up some options. Now what I've failed to do on this first one is I've tried to select 2 at once. So all I need to do is just zoom out, click off the objects completely. So the best way to do that is to click on isometric, click off, go back in, right click, rename, and give your part or the feature that you're doing a name. So when you come back to look through your model, you're able to find the bits you've done quite easily. So we just go through and finish off renaming the last few parts there. Once that's done, we'll move on to looking at adding some other features to the block. Okay, so we're now back to working on the block, so we're going to press sketch again, and I'm going to click on the top surface of the block there, and we're going to make this the hole for the head to go in. So what I will do is I'll rename it as well this time if I remember. So we're going to draw the circle, dimension it down to 3 millimeters, so it's the same as the one we've just done, and then click on the little pencil icon and I can just type in the name, so head hole. Press the L tick, and we're just repeating them same processes. We're going to isometric, we can use the scroll wheel to zoom in, and we can then put in the hole. So again I need to change it to remove, and we'll do it so it goes down 5, and press the tick when we're happy with that. Okay, so the rest of the video we're just going to show you how to do the feet. I'm not going to talk you through this bit, I'll let you enjoy the video. Remember, pause, rewind at any point if you're not sure about something. So we'll go from there and see how you get on with it. I've drawn out me both circles on the base there, and I'm going to make sure I resize them both to 6. So you just jump a little bit there, and then we want to get them evenly spaced from the centre. So I click the centre of the circle and the centre line, and I'm going to type in, I think I'll do 3 first and realise too close they'd be touching, so I can just go back and change that to 3.5 and move it off, and do exactly the same on the other one. So click once, click the centre there, and again change it to 3.5. Now I'll let the video play on in the background. I'm not going to talk over it. I will jump back on just towards the end of the video when I just talk to you about adding some rounds to some of the edges just to soften them off. Just one other thing I'm going to do to the body of the robot is I'm just going to round off or fillet some of the edges there. So I'll click on an edge and it automatically does it to 5. Obviously 5's too much, so I'm just going to turn that back to 1. Click on the other sides I want. I can move it around with my cursor keys or using the arrows. Click the other 4 sides. So I've just created a slight round on every side, just to soften off some of them edges, as it is a child's toy. Press the tick and we're done. Remember, this is online, so it's automatically saving to the cloud. Remember to check out our Twitter and Instagram pages too. Thanks again for watching. Hit that like and subscribe.